This is 41 Today on 41 NBC.
Welcome back. We are continuing our political coverage. Voters across Georgia are starting to hear from the candidates looking to lead the state in 2026. Today, we're sitting down with former Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan, now running for governor of Georgia as a Democrat. Duncan says his campaign is focused on lowering the cost of living, expanding health care, and standing up to political extremism. After making national headlines for breaking with the Republican Party, he's here to talk to us about his shift in politics, his policy plans, and what Georgians can expect if he's elected. Geoff, welcome. How are you?
Glad to be here. I'm doing great.
Oh, yeah, of course. Thanks so much for being here. So let's talk about this, right? You've spent years as a Republican leader in Georgia before becoming a Democrat. Why should voters trust that this shift is about values, not political opportunity, as the governor's race heats up?
Yeah, I think I've lived the most public transformation from going from Republican to Democrat over the last 5+ years on television, opinion columns I've written all over the state. And also, just taking those positions. Look, this is a heart change for me. This gives me an opportunity to meet more Georgians where they're at. I wake up every day as a proud Democrat with a better toolkit to serve the needs of Georgians, whether they're trying to find health care, whether or not they're trying to get better public education, whether or not they're looking for common sense gun legislation, you name it. I don't have to make excuses anymore. I show up ready to go every day.
Okay. And talking about Donald Trump, you've made standing up to him a central part of your campaign. So beyond rhetoric, what specific actions would you take as governor to protect Georgia's elections and democracy?
Well, first and foremost, what we've seen play out with these FBI raids last week in Fulton County are not about the 2020 election. I think it's important for everybody listening to know the fact is this is about sowing seeds of synthetic doubt into the 2026 election cycle. That's what this is all about. And it's unfortunate. We need to stay strong as a state. We need to make sure we stay attached to the facts. And we need to make sure that we stand up to Donald Trump and anybody else willing to lie, cheat, and steal our elections.
Okay. Let's shift the conversation to abortion, right? So you've said that lawmakers shouldn't make decisions for women. Would you work to repeal Georgia's current abortion restrictions? And if so, how would you navigate a divide in legislature?
Yeah, every room I walk into, I talk about the fact that I made a mistake thinking a room full of legislators knew better than millions of women when we passed that heartbeat bill in the General Assembly years ago. I was wrong, and when Roe got overturned and started to hear the difficult medical scenarios, the personal, deep felt situations, I realized that women absolutely deserve the right to choose. Irregardless of anybody's personal opinions, they deserve the right to choose between themselves, their family, their doctors, and their faith. Day one as governor, I'll sign an executive order that clarifies doctors can practice medicine without fear of prosecution. And also we'll introduce legislation to repeal the 6-week ban. That will meet millions of women where they want us to meet.
Okay. When it comes to guns, you've said that you got it wrong on the gun policy earlier in your career. What responsibility do you take for laws you previously supported, and how would you approach now being in a different legislation?
Yeah, I've been very public about this over the last few years. I've written a number of opinion columns, and really I represent, I think, what 90% of Georgians want, and that's universal background checks, red flag laws, and in-home safe storage laws. I, like everybody listening, is just disgusted to walk by a television screen and watch another mass shooting play out, and then to see the facts unraveled that they could have been stopped. There could have been some sort of checkpoint in them buying a weapon or having access to a weapon. And so I do think Republicans know they're wrong on this issue, and I think this is an opportunity for us as Democrats to step up and really lead the charge in trying to figure out ways to pass common sense gun legislation. And like I said, universal background checks make all the sense in the world. In-home safe storage laws make all the sense in the world. Red flag laws make all the sense in the world. So we'll work hard. I think Republicans know we're right on this issue, and they'll follow our lead.
Okay. And last but not least, a couple of seconds left. You propose using $1.7 billion from Georgia's rainy day fund to help families. Critics may say that that's risky. Why is now the right time to spend it, and how would you ensure that it actually lowers costs for everyday Georgians?
Yeah, look, we've got nearly $17 billion worth of rainy day money in our savings account. I think using 10% of that to invest in Georgians that are circling around the vicious cycle of poverty is not a risk. I think it's an investment. It's an investment into figuring out ways to better fund the CAPS program to lower child care costs for folks that want to go back to work but can't afford to. Looking for an opportunity to better invest in affordable housing projects all over the state. Looking for ways to expand Medicaid using those dollars. These are investment dollars back into Georgians. I think it puts us in the best place to see our best days in front of us.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Duncan, so much for coming in. And he is one of several candidates seeking the Democratic nomination for governor in 2026. And what's expected to be another highly competitive election cycle here in the state of Georgia. The primary election is set for May 19th, with the general election happening on November 3rd. And as always, we encourage voters to make sure that they're registered and informed before heading to the polls. We'll continue bringing you guys conversations with the candidates from both parties so you can hear directly from those hoping to lead our state. Thank you so much for coming in and your time. And guys, for more information, y'all can head over to our website at 41NBC.com. We'll be right back.